Hi, everybody. My name is Patrick, and this seems like an odd place to start, but this is where we're going to start. So, this is my very first makerspace in my tiny 550 square foot home in the rural Olympia, Washington area. And so, I wanted to start creating, and I had next to no space. So, everything was extremely cluttered, and everything was just kind of stacked. Projects were kind of thrown into bins and we were operating on the bin system pretty heavily. Thankfully, at this point, I didn't have a lot of excess filament. That would be a problem later on. And so I worked really hard to kind of curate the space and make sure that there was room for everything. And that was tough and kind of grow into the hobby. So I thought I'd start with where we came from. That was my first really big print. These awesome drawer systems for the A1, the bamboo A1 printer. And so this is kind of where I started. And anything that had a drawer got stuff put in it. Now, we started very humbly with just one bamboo A1 printer, and then it went down. I had a clog, and I Hulk handed the printer, and I accidentally ended up ripping out the filament sensor. And in an upcoming video, you'll see my very precarious repair of that. But here we are looking at the filament sensor. I'm trying to demonstrate that, hey, I just pulled on this like I was the Hulk and broke it. And thank you for joining me in this awkward segue to voiceover over time lapses of prints. So I didn't record any video during the move. It was a logistical nightmare. It was exhausting. You think that a week would be enough time? It wasn't. My wife got COVID during the move. I had never had it and then got it from her. So it was a rough period. And it was just a whole bunch of feelings. Like, it was so exciting to have the resources and the funds to build out this new space, but not a structure for it, not any real organization for it. And so it just kind of became this process of piece by piece, right? With so many overwhelming variables of what piece do we get next? Wait, what's this printer going to sit on? What area are we doing this in? And so I just kind of had to give myself permission of this space is going to evolve and change. And one of the things that I did wisely was I did map it out, and I did make sure that everything was on casters with the exception of the shelving. And so I had to be real careful that that was where the shelving was going to live, because could we move it? Yes, but it would have been a nightmare to move it all. And so, we got our first large format printer. We got the H2S. We got things situated. I drove down to Home Depot and got the Husky tables and, got everything started. And what you're seeing here in the time-lapse videos are really just a good balance that I'd like to talk about in later videos of functional prints or prints that you need and just fun, silly prints. So, I appreciate this awkward segue to make up for video that I didn't shoot, and I'm really excited to kind of walk you through my new space and show you what I went from and what I have now. So this space really functions as a bunch of different things. Primarily, it is my work. I work from home. And so this is also where I'll edit videos. And it's also where I'm going to do all my creating. And so one of the new things is I've got myself a bamboo H2S. And I love it. It is a fantastic printer. And I've got an AMS HT and an AMS 2 Pro. And then, a bunch of other stuff. This corner is kind of a work in progress. I think another Husky table is going to go there, but you can see I've got bins all over the place still. And then this racking really became necessary. And the A1s you saw me pack up, here those are. And then yesterday on Facebook Marketplace, this was what I got. I've never done laser, and so this was a very affordable laser engraver and cutter. something fun down there for a future video, right? We got, the tool chest and tons of stuff in there. I've got, everything's kind of, a wreck. And then the crazy filament library. And I've got a filament problem. But, everything's kind of a mess. But that's, how it goes and how it starts. And I can't wait for you to be with me as this space evolves, as the journey evolves. So the reality is that things are going to be sloppy right now. Things are going to be messy. My lighting is going to suck. My audio hopefully won't. I don't know if this is the right camera, right? This is a camera that I bought. It's not a bad one, but is it the right one? It's the one that I have. But I want you all to see kind of the process. Like, I see the really polished maker spaces and I love them. And I see the ones that are just started. But I so appreciate the videos that have the journey, right? There's this guy in the Netherlands building this fantastic, like, compact space. Crazy talented. His audio and his cinematics match his subscriber count, right? Like, these are like pro level videos. I mean, now he's in a different space. He's in a completely different space. And that's kind of what you're going to see in this video, from what I went to what I have. And all of that possibility is overwhelming in the best way possible. But let me kind of take you through just a quick where it's at now and what you might be able to expect here in the future. And the space has evolved. Is this its final iteration? Absolutely not. So we have the one of the newer things. We have a TV up. Right now, it's just kind of keeping me company. I'm starting to work on editing for the videos. We've got our workstation set up, and that's a change. We got a new rising desk here, so that's great. And then we got a second new bamboo printer. We got an H2D, and so I was saving up for the H2C, and I just kind of realized that it's not quite the iteration of what I wanted. The laser has moved to a roaming table that can be put out of the way. We've got some boxes for the newest. They kind of got them at the same time, but now we have an A1 Mini, and I kind of hope to take this places to kind of show off 3D printing. So we have our workbench now kind of in its final place, and we're going to be setting up a soldering station there and bits and what have you. We got some materials for lasering. The unopened filament is now all living down here, and there's a ton of it. We've got a microwave for drying desiccant and a workbench. I'm trying to turn this PC into a home server. We got some lighting. So as you can see, we've come a long way. And then the filament library is, let's see if we can get this motion light to work. These have not been great. It's still up here, but growing. So, and then, oh, look at that T-Rex, I can't believe I found that. And then this is going to probably move. That's just kind of killing space. Right now it's just kind of become a dumping ground. And then I always just kind of have stuff on the floor. It's one of my bad habits. I need to find places for things. So here is the most recent iteration of the space for mid-December 2025. I think I just want to talk a little while about being overwhelmed. This journey of sharing my perspectives with the world, this journey of sharing the hard-earned wisdom that I have, it's not easy. It's tiring. I'm in a different space now. I don't know how the audio is going to be here. I don't know if it's going to be okay. You want things to not be perfect, right? But you want things to be good. And there is no shortage of people on YouTube talking about how to be good on YouTube. But one of the people who I have found to be exceptionally helpful is Kevin Colby, and he says just start, and I think he's right. You just start and you learn along the way. There are some amazing YouTube channels that I love. One of my favorites is Dig Drive DIY with Neil Kof, and his videos have come such a long way, and he's exceptionally good, and his nephew Trent is exceptionally good at making their videos. You don't start at that. That takes years. And so I think you got to create, you got to start, and you got to get better, and you got to find a process. And I have the space to do it now, and that's what's overwhelming, is that you're not seeing any of this behind me, but I have for the first time a dedicated space to create and make the things that bring me joy and bring me happiness. And it's overwhelming, and I haven't been in this space long, and we're still moving in, and I'm still recovering from getting COVID for the first time right after the move. It's a lot. And so you just start doing it. The space isn't done, and I don't know why it's like, oh, I need the space to be done before I start, filming for YouTube. Nah, just start. Make sure that people can see you, make sure that people can hear you, and then just go for it. Like, how's this lighting? I don't know. I'm looking at the monitor here. I've got a couple lights up here on my desktop. I need to get the lighting better. Like, that area back there is very dark, but it's also a dark, gloomy day, right, in the state of Washington. So we'll get there, and getting there with you all, I think, is what makes it worthwhile. Like, one of my other favorite channels is Captain Kleeman, Mike Kleeman. His videos resonate with me so much. That man, I wish I had a tenth of his energy. He's just bouncing around his property, is a dad, is a husband, is a full-time, firefighter, and yet he accomplishes so much. And you see that he's tired sometimes, and you see that he's frustrated, and you see that journey. And I think that rawness, that vulnerability, it feels authentic. It's what I want to see. It's not all polished. It's not all pretty. He's just going for it. And so, that's what I want to do too. And then hopefully that resonates with people, right? This whole parasocial relationship thing, he doesn't know me, I don't know him, but I appreciate him so much. And it's an odd thing, and I'm willing to bet, because and I have a little bit of experience here, but I'm willing to bet that people will feel that for me, and that's a thing that I've had to navigate before when I ran a games company, and very much so had to live in the public space, as these people felt like they knew me from sharing my stories, right? And that, I think, is a hard part to navigate, but I care about people and want to meet them where they're at, and also want, people to understand that I'm a person, I'm a human, and deciding to share these experiences, these stories, this wisdom, is to help, right? But also, I'm not a product, and that's a balance too. This whole thing is wild, but I think not sharing it and not doing it is scarier than going for it. So thanks for letting me ramble for a bit. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being here. Take care. So thank you so much for letting me get those feelings out of the way. And now we can get into a piece that I'd like to end each video with, of what did we print this week. And I thought this would be a cool way to end each video, is to kind of highlight a print that I had worked on. And so I did a pretty large trash can for my office here, but I wanted it to be a specific color, and I wanted it to be a specific style. And so this is one of those things that I think is really helpful for having a 3D printer is kind of stuff that you would buy on Amazon that would cost you 15 to 20 bucks. And I can do this for much less, and it's going to look pretty much exactly like I want it to. And so this is one of the primary colors here in my lab, my office, is this, tangerine orange. And so you saw the base there, and now we're moving into the lid. And again, I just really want to thank you for joining me on this first video. Please drop a comment below. Let me know, do you like this style? I mean, this is pretty much me, and it's what you're going to get. This is the perspective that I hope to bring to this space, is kind of, a little bit technical and a little bit feelings, and really just kind of having you along with the journey. Like, one of the channels I appreciate the most is Lucas Engstrom. He is a full-time YouTuber. That's the name of his channel. And he freed me in this process of just by having people join him while he was new and learning on the way. And that's what I hope to do here. So hopefully you can give this a like and subscribe and join us, and have a great week, everybody.